of all the Catholic baptisms in Africa, 37% are adults. That compares with 13% of Catholic baptisms worldwide that are adults. Where does this put us here in America? Well, we've got a challenge, but we've also got great hope, because our history as a church has shown us that in crucial times, God raises up, God calls saints to help the family come back to full health and participation. In the moral crisis of the 11th century, he called on someone like Francis of Assisi. And look, we still feel the effects of Francis today. During World War II, in the face of Nazism and all the horrors that were there, he called a man named Maximilian Kolbe to take the place of another man in the prison camp who was a husband and a father and had a family to go home to. Maximilian Kolbe, the priest, gave his life in his place. We look at the streets of Calcutta and the poverty and the squalor and the dying that's taking place. God raised up and called Mother Teresa of Calcutta to show the message of love. God continues to raise up and call people to revitalize His church, and He has called us. Yesterday, here in our diocese, 2 men were ordained to the priesthood for the Diocese of Cleveland. One 30 years old, one 44 years old who had been a practicing attorney. Next year, God willing, and it's always God willing, John Schneider's class, John, seminarian from our parish, be 6 ordained to the priesthood a year from now. The next year, 4. The next year, 4. The next year, 2014, again, God willing, there'll be 7. That's the class of our seminarians, Scott Goodfellow and Lou Balzer. God continues to raise up and call people, and not simply the Francis of Assisi's or the Maximilian Kolbes or the Mother Teresas of Calcutta. He has called you, He has called me. You are my witnesses to the ends of the earth, He told the apostles and disciples before He ascended to heaven to His Father's right hand. He has called us, and we have work to do for Him. When we remember that, we look back over the long history of our church, and we see again and again how the Lord, through the power of the Holy Spirit, has raised up His church from the ashes. You are my witnesses to the ends of the earth, Jesus says. You in your calling, I in my calling, are witnesses to Christ right here in our little acre of God's earth.